I'm going to be honest with you, I miss playing New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I miss the levels, the worlds, the feel of the controller as I shook my Wiimote and had the battery swing out. I remember making top 3s on my TikTok account. Super Nugget Maker, go follow. At 11,000 followers, I'll sing Peaches. And I realized there's a lot more I wanted to add. Making it a TikTok video would be too long. So that's why I decided to create this video. My top 10 things I would love to see from New Super Mario Bros. Wii and Super Mario Maker 3 if it ever comes out. A side note, I don't like using emulators because it feels wrong, so I use an AV to an HDMI adapter and my capture card, so I apologize for not so good quality. Also, if I didn't mention something that you were thinking, that's probably because I put it in a top 3 already and I didn't want to sound like a broken record. With that said, on the number 10 spot, we have climbing ropes. Odd choice, I know, but just imagine, the lava is rising up and Mario has to hold onto something quick. The player doesn't want to wait for the lava to fall back down. I mean, the point of the game is to play the game, not red light, green light. As Reggie would say,
if it's not fun, why bother?
I feel like adding climbing ropes can bring a sense of adventure and creativity that lacks in the modern Mario Maker. We ran, swam, climbed walls, took to the skies, but have not yet stuck onto the ceiling. A way this could work is having 2 blocks on each side. One block moves and it stretches the rope, sort of like how conveyor belts work. And why should we limit ourselves to the ceiling? Why not, if it's not connected to the ceilings, it could act like a tightrope, like how New Super Mario Bros. For the DS did it, keeping the player focused on the game and adding in extra spring to their step. I can only imagine the possibilities, like imagine a level where a player must jump to the ceilings to get away from lava but drop down onto a rope because something is blocking their path. On the number 9 spot is World Map Baddies. New Super Mario Bros. Wii introduced us to World Map obstacles. Bad guys on the map, if when defeated, it can grant us 3 Super Mushrooms in the New Super Mario Bros. Wii game. How would this work exactly in Super Mario Maker? Well, they would work as an alternative 1-up houses. It's a minigame. The maker gets to choose from 3 different games for each bad guy they place down. If the player defeats all the enemies in under a certain time frame, that'll depend on what mushrooms they get. So let's say they defeat all the enemies in 30 seconds, they'll get 5 1-ups and so on. We already have sprites in Nintendo. All we need are the minigames. And yeah, we could do it ourselves, but that takes a spot from our Super World. Sorry not sorry, number 8 goes to Brambles. What does its name mean? I have no idea, but I need it in Mario Maker. When you hit its bottom, it spits coins, and when you step on it, it dies. I always found it to be a unique character in the Mario game. It's one of my all-time favorite enemies, and a way I feel like it could be used is to access areas. If you don't know, if Brambles are hit by an ice ball, they freeze for a short moment. This can unlock secret areas if the timing is done right. Lucky number 7 goes to Secret Walls. Secret Walls have become a staple in the 2D platforming games ever since Mario Bros. Wii had it, so did U and Luigi U. The amount of potential this has is incredible. The amount of secrets you can find, and let's be honest, Mario Maker ghost houses are pretty lame. They lack the spook. Adding secret walls could change all that by hiding secret paths to hiding secret doors. Speaking of doors, the number 6 spot, we have custom doors. The doors that we have in Super Mario Maker 2 are fine. The only problems I have with them are, you need something to be blocking the other door to avoid the player from going back, or you have to have the door 1 block off the ground. And of course you could use a timer, but honestly I don't like to have my doors on a timer, you know, P-switches. Having more doors could fix this. Take the ghost house door for example. They're nice and circular, and then when you try to head back, it turns into a coin. This could be perfect because now my levels don't have to look odd by having the door float off the ground. Another one is the ghost door. It's just a trick door, but just adding this door could make all the difference in the ghost houses. Adding this could actually make me stop and actually think in a level. And finally, the boss doors. Be honest with me, when entering a final battle, do you want to be entered through this door or this door? Not to mention they all have different colors. I understand the doors are pretty big, but I'm willing to give up tile space for these doors. Number 5, vines and chains. Vines and chains are the same thing. Swinging claws and vines are not. Swinging claws are pretty much more useful, but the vines and chains are much more fun. Swinging claws can only hold the player, but also any movable item as well as an enemy. And of course, you know, they can swing them side to side, but whatever. So if the swinging claw is so great, why do I want vines and chains? Well, first of all, the swinging claw has an odd shape, often getting in the way of my builds. Second, the user can find a way to cheese through a level holding an item that was not intended for them to grab. Third, I don't feel right using the swinging claw. It doesn't feel natural. With the vine or the chain, it feels right. With the vine or the chain, the player is forced to throw what they are holding and focus on the level. And with the vine and chain, it's a nice and simple idea. No odd shapes. It would work similarly like a vine, extended by pulling down. And to keep it balanced in the game, it has to be attached to something in order for the player to swing. For the number 4, we have the bulber. Now I know what I said in the beginning, but this is different. In one of the videos, I only mentioned day water life. I want to talk about night water life. Two of the worst combinations is complete darkness and water levels. And for some reason, Nintendo decided to add them both in one mode. They could at least let us have fun with Bulber. It's inspired by the anglerfish. Their habitat is the deep, dark pits of the ocean, kind of like this mode. Having an enemy that shines a light would be absolutely great for these kinds of levels. Not to mention, we haven't seen these guys since Wii. Who knows, maybe if we get the Bulber, we could also get the jelly beans as well. Number 3 is boxes. Look, I know I mentioned them in the top 3, but that was an honorable mention, so it doesn't count. I know boxes would technically be a brick block, but there's so much more. They can hold bundles of coins and power-ups, they only take 1 ground pound to break them, and they occupy a big space. Not to mention, they look better than brick blocks. If this does get out, I could see a whole level where a person needs to watch out for falling boxes. If they're not cautious, they could get smushed by the boxes. But wait, these are too flimsy. We can have a metal box state as well. I know this is far from ever coming true, but it'd be nice to have, and it'd make castle levels and sky levels look much better. Geysers, take number 2. They're just cool and they can lift you up, or kill you. Number 1, volcanic debris. I always hated the volcanic debris. I replayed the game. I've learned to love and respect it. It destroys the player's level block by block. It could either work by a mode and have them randomly spawn in, or have the player manually put it on screen but off screen so the debris can spawn in. I don't see this really happening, so I guess we'll have to stick to Bowser off screen for now. Well, that was it for this video. Do you agree with my picks? What would you have added on? It was pretty tricky what I would like in, since I made 4 top 3s, which would add up to 12. 12 things I couldn't list. Anyways, let me know down in the comments what you would have put in. See you next time, and bye.